Big shout out to everyone surviving through 2020 into 2021. I know things have been a little dicey, especially publicly in the media. I want to unpack pretty much everything that we're seeing on media and social medias today and give you guys my projections on what you will see.
3, 2, 1, rock and roll.
Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the CW Clinic. Thank you for joining me today, episode 84. Today I'm going to give you my predictions on what you're going to see primarily in the first 6 months, but also the entire year of 2021. Big shout out to everyone surviving through 2020 into 2021. I know things have been a little dicey, especially publicly in the media. And I want to unpack pretty much everything that we're seeing on media and social medias today and give you guys my projections on what you will see. All right, now, before I make my introductions to who's here and before I do anything else, I want to stop you right now and I want you to go back and listen to episode 64 that came out in August. And that was titled, What Will You See in the Next 4 Months of 2020, which was basically me projecting Q4 of 2020. All of my projections since 2019 have been correct other than two things, including the show that I'm referencing. One, the coronavirus, okay? We've talked about this before. I did not project the coronavirus. I did project a recession and or depression, which is potentially where we're headed. The only other thing that I was wrong on out of all my projections was that I thought a second round of complete lockdowns were coming around Thanksgiving. So if I projected approximately 20 to 30 things that you would see in 2020, I was wrong with 2. So I think what would my
track record?
What would it be? Would I be like batting like fucking 900?
What is it, guys?
What my batting record?
If he's batting, if you know, at 20 for 22 at the
like
bat.
950?
Yeah, it's got to be there. You're batting in the 900s is all we know.
Basically, every pitcher that I face is scared shitless of me.
Yes.
I just pull my dick out at the plate, and they don't know what to do.
No.
I don't claim to know all, but what I claim to do is look at everything from an objective standpoint and deliver the truth on how I see it. Before I get into that, I want to take a moment to thank the producer and or co-host to the show, Mike on the mic.
Thanks, dude.
I appreciate you. You know that, right?
Yeah, I appreciate you too.
I appreciate you so much. I brought my own water today.
That is epic because you know we go through water like crazy here.
I kill your waters.
Everybody
and I
does.
never bring you presents.
No, I know you still haven't brought anything for the stew yet.
Listen, I have an assistant.
Yes.
Okay, you need to yell at her.
Okay.
I mean, I could yell at her.
Yeah, I'm going to ask nicely.
However, I yell at her every day.
Right.
About important shit.
Right.
Not that this isn't important,
yeah.
but she needs to be straight.
Yeah, on top of the other stuff.
Also, she was supposed to be on the microphone today.
Today was the day.
Where is she?
Well, you gave her the day off.
Well, she needed the day off.
Yes.
Yeah, she needed the day off.
So then the next show, though, you better let her know, like, she's, like, got to bring the heat.
She better bring the fucking heat.
Yeah.
She better bring the fucking heat. Yeah, we will. And I appreciate you. I appreciate Paola. You guys have heard me talk about everybody here. Thank you to the Downtime crew, everybody running cameras, everyone helping me articulate what I'm trying to say. You guys had a pasta dinner last night?
We did. Yeah, it was epic.
Yeah.
Tony and Renee cooked up a fire old school Italian dinner because now I guess everybody I'm surrounded with is Italian.
Yeah.
So that's what
you're
going to
get better as a person now.
Yes. That's what they tell me. Mm-hmm. That's what they tell me. That's what
Renee, you're
say.
Italian as well? Oh, yeah. Perfect. Mike, so you're the oddball.
Yeah. And Jake sort of, but he has Italian in him, but so he doesn't count. So yeah, I'm the oddball.
Okay.
But it's all right.
Okay, well, I'm happy your pasta dinner came out well.
It was fire.
Meatballs and pasta, what else? Tequila.
Kiki, and coffee. Because you have to have some cafe after Italian dinner.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, and you know what else I think we're going to segue into it here. We should get into it because we have a lot to talk about. I want to briefly discuss what everyone saw happen at our nation's capital the first week of 2021. So here's a fun fact for you. I canceled my cable 8 to 9 years ago. I don't watch the news. The first time I watched the news, actually looked at the news, was January 6, 2020, or excuse me, January 6, 2021. I watched the news. I actually watched it. And I'm so grateful that I canceled my cable and don't watch the news, because for those of you that are listening and do watch the news, I don't know how else to articulate to you, you're poisoning your mind. Mm-hmm. Nothing on it is positive, and nothing on it is accurate. Now, I'm not saying what happened at the state capitol didn't happen. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that everything is taken so far out of context and painted into a picture of adversity at this point that it's to me it's like watching the WWF. Right?
That's a good comparison.
It's like everything is just orchestrated to make you a miserable fuck for watching the news. And overall, I think it's absolutely and incredibly disappointing what happened. Whether it was staged, whether it wasn't, whether it was true, whether it wasn't, what happened is disappointing to me. Understand that things like this happen around the world often and have been happening for centuries, if not millennia. Our country is just a young country, and it happens to be catching up to other countries' issues with politics. Okay? And regardless of left, right, regardless of race, regardless of any of that, what you saw on display is upset citizens. Okay? And the undertone, in my opinion, isn't racial or political. The undertone is financially driven and power driven. And we're going to explain that a little bit more. I completely understand if you're upset about what happens the first week of January. And the reason why I keep saying that is because our recording and when we drop are, several weeks apart. So granted, in real time, we're only in the second week of January, but when you hear this, it will be the fourth week. So, if your mindset is disturbed, or if you're not feeling well, or if you're, arguably miserable or depressed because of things that are happening in the country right now and it's really affecting you, I want to speak to you that the best thing you could do is stop watching the goddamn news. You have to stop watching it. And secondarily, you really have to stop taking in your facts from social media, because I don't know the percentage, but a lot of it's far-fetched. And I actually watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix, and they actually spit out a statistic of roughly 70% of what's shared and posted is inaccurate. 70%. So the chances of the average-minded American being able to sift through what's right and wrong from social media is minimal. And large corporations like Facebook and Google and Instagram know these things. And it really puts on display how manipulative they can be, especially to our own human psychology. So my point is, guys, if you haven't canceled your cable, I would highly recommend doing so, especially if you're depressed because of the events that are happening. If you can correlate the reason why you don't feel well to what you're watching on the news, you got to be proactive and cut the news out. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually factual that when you're watching television programming, that's weird that it's called
programming,
right? Isn't that weird?
Programming.
Okay. When you watch television programming, it has your brain go into theta, beta, and alpha in the brain, whatever the science,
Sure. Different levels of.
Yeah. So in the theta brain wave in your brain, that's when manipulation can happen in your brain, and when you could believe whatever they tell you. You know what I mean? So There's a lot of, it's just all fear tactics, it's all fear tactics, and they want, look at us. People are driving in their car with masks on now.
God.
Yeah, I just went for a drive just now, and I'd say 1 out of 2 people have masks on in their car now.
Yeah.
Like,
do you? I don't.
No, dude. Come on.
I wear my mask now, sometimes.
I'll wear it to be respectful to people.
Right, exactly.
I'm not a dick,
right,
and I care about other people. So to make other people feel safe and happy, I do that. So, but when they say, hopefully, I hope they do say this, you can wear a mask or you don't have to wear a mask, up to you. You'll never see me wearing a mask again.
Okay, first things first, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's bring that up in a moment, because my predictions are going to be a little bit different than what facts, okay? And my predictions on the mask will come, right? Is that under the predictions notes?
It is.
Is it? No, it's not.
No, it's in the what we will see, though.
All right. So let's start with that, okay? What we will see. Even though we're gonna really talk about what you won't see in 2021.
Yeah, let's do what you will not see.
All right, will you remind me to talk about the masks?
Yeah, it's in here. It's actually the second one.
You remind me of your comment.
Yes.
Of the ability to not wear or wear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, China.
Oh God. Okay, so let's talk about. We're gonna do this in 3 sections here, guys. We're gonna do what you will not see in 2021, what you will see in 2021, and then my projections of what you will see in 2021. So let's start with some low-hanging fruit here with what you will not see, okay? No matter what the media is feeding you, okay, you will not see a civil war. Okay, you're not going to see a black-white war in America. Okay, it's not going to happen. And I'm going to tell you why it's not going to happen. Because for something like this to happen, you would need strong leadership on both ends of an event, such as a civil war. Okay, a civil war, if we could just kind of briefly touch on it, in the 1860s in America, you had 2 separate entities, 2 separate countries occupying the same continent. Well, there was multiple countries occupying the same continent, but this, because there was Mexico and Canada, I believe they were countries at that point. At least I think they were.
Yeah.
But there were all of a sudden 2 separate countries within the United States of America's borders, correct? Mm-hmm. I don't know how many states at that point there were. I would say roughly
13,
40, 1860s? 1860s. I don't think
more,
Alaska.
30.
Yeah, I don't
35?
think Alaska.
I'll look it up.
You know what I mean? I don't think Texas was technically a state yet. There wasn't 50, okay? And for sure, Puerto Rico wasn't considered 33.
Yeah.
What'd you say, 30?
I did.
Yeah, it was a good guess.
Thank you.
So there was 33 states, but 2 countries.
Right.
Okay. Anyways, there were 2 monstrous leadership positions for each of these states, which were called presidents. Okay, of each of these countries for a civil war. Okay, we barely have leadership in our main presidency. No offense to anyone who's left-sided or loves Joe. He's just not a leader. Mm-hmm. He's a politician. He's a Barack Obama.
Yeah.
He's a politician, which is great because it's a political position. However, he's not a leader, and nor is his cabinet. Okay, including the vice president. She's not a leader. Is she monumental for women in African American race? Absolutely. I'm not saying anything negative about anybody. I'm not. I'm saying they're not leaders. Mm-hmm. And then you would also need a secondary group of leadership for a civil war to happen. Like a General Petraeus or a General Mattis coming out of retirement and spinning up the opposition, or one leadership group taking the blacks in America and one leadership group taking the whites in America, or one leadership group taking the Republicans in America and one leadership group taking the Democrats in America. It just, there's no leadership. which means there's not going to be a civil war. Okay, so no matter what you think, you're wrong. There will not be a civil war. I don't care what you think. It is wrong. There will not be a civil war in 2021. Can it happen in 5 to 10 years? Possibly. I mean, it possibly could happen, but it won't happen in 2021. It won't. From sheer leadership. Will you see white-black crime? Yes, you will. There's been white-black crime forever, and it will continue. And will there be more? Possibly. There possibly might be. Will you see lynchings? Will you see murders? Probably. You probably will. Because the degree of separation continues, the wedge continues and continues and continues and continues. And the media, in my opinion, and the propaganda and programming is realistically the reasoning behind it. And now you can't even say just the media. It's also social media with the censorship on major platforms, which we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to see a civil war, number one. Number two, your masks aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to have a choice. Now, there are countries, specifically Eastern Asian countries, the Philippines, China, Japan, where you will see a lot of the citizens wearing masks, okay? Because A, they've been through situations like COVID before because of strains of COVID in the 2000s and the 2010s, which had already hit their countries and done things similar to what we are experiencing now. But it's personal hygiene preferences in the Eastern Asian countries where you can decide to wear or not to wear masks. You will not have that ability in the United States of America in 2021. I foresee for at least the first 6 months.
All right, that's not bad.
Mandatory masks. What will have to happen is for the masks to let up, which will probably be around 2022, 70% of Americans will have to have been vaccinated for the herd immunity to get COVID, quote unquote, under control, quote unquote. It's not going to happen in the first 6 months. I don't think it's going to happen in the next year. I think you're going to have masks on for the next year. Just get used to it. Just get used to it. All right. A suppression of the economy is not going to change. Okay. Economically speaking, you're going to have areas of opportunity and you're going to have monstrous areas of distress, okay? The stock market's going to continue to bull. It's going to continue to be great through 2021. It's going to continue to be awesome. Bitcoin is projected to hit 100 grand. You know, like awesome. Good for the stock market. However, when the economy is not doing well, generally speaking, the stock market is doing well. Generally speaking, there's always going to be situations such as the Great Depression, which, you know, a crash of a stock market can turn us into a Great Depression or another depression. But the stock market's not going anywhere. The suppression of the economy is going to continue to be. There will be more job losses. There will be more layoffs. There will be more unemployments. There will be millions of Americans losing their homes. There will be retail businesses closing. And this stimulus aspect of things likely won't continue, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I think this second round of stimulus barely got passed. In my opinion.
Like this last one we just got?
Yeah, I do. Did anybody get it?
I got it.
Did you guys get it? You guys got it? Good.
Yeah.
Good, because that's what it's for.
Yeah.
I just don't foresee it continuing to happen.
Yeah.
Because the more trillions of dollars that get pumped into the economy, and they say for every stimulus package comes out, the equivalent is 30% depreciation on the dollar on the bluebacks. So like another multiple trillion dollars come out, that's another 30% damage to the dollar. The more damage to the dollar means the more inflation into the economy over the course of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So I don't foresee it happening. I could be wrong. I'm not trying to give my projections on the CFO of this country, whoever the fuck that's going to be. Do you know who this is?
No.
No, I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, I have no clue either. We know it's not Joey. All right. He's not a financial guy.
Definitely. I don't even know if he's all there. Like,
I don't think so.
Doesn't he have stage 1 dementia?
I believe he does.
Yeah.
I think it's documented.
Oh, that's great.
And guys, understand, I'm not trying to listen. I'm not, first things first, I'm not saying pro-Trump. Okay.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm not saying pro-Trump. I'm merely talking about Mr. Biden is not a leader and he's not a financial guy. He's not. He's neither of them. And he's sickly. I'm just stating facts.
Fact, yeah.
I'm just stating facts. I don't like, I'm not sitting here saying, well, Trump should have won. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Biden's not a leader. Biden's not a financial guy, and he's sick.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He's coming in office.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
speaking of traveling,
I don't believe the traveling. What you won't see is travel bans lifted. Okay. Other countries are not going to just open their borders because it's 2021. All right. There are countries that you can travel to. You can travel to the Caribbean. You can travel to Mexico. You can travel to Costa Rica. Yeah, you can go to Mexico. One of my friends, she's going to Mexico in a couple of weeks, and I was like, oh, good for you.
Yeah.
But the point is the travel bans aren't necessarily going to be lifted. All right. You're not going to see travel bans lifted. Okay. Because in my opinion, have done and are doing a terrible job with combating the truth and the mongling of COVID. And the other countries see that. Not necessarily COVID itself.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see travel bans lifted. You're not going to see retail doing well. Retail stores are going to continue to close. There's going to continue small businesses closing and large businesses closing. Fucking Home Goods is gone. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, fucking Home Goods, like all these retail stores, Bed Bath and Beyond. Like,
done?
Yeah, dude. Like they're closing everywhere. Gyms. Like one of my clients just texted me out in Old Lyme last night. And he's like, Chris, I honestly thought you were wrong about your projections on gyms. I actually, you know what? I won't say his name, but let me read the text message conversation just so everyone understands how many people think my projections on the fitness industry are incorrect.
Losers.
Well, it's not.
I'm joking.
They're not losers. They might not have the vision. This was at 5:45 last night. So I thought and was selfishly hoping you were wrong. But unfortunately, I found out today my gym, the gym I go to, is closing at the end of January. My response is still tough for me to accept that I gave 12 years to the cause. However, the greatest gift I was given was vision. I'm fortunate to have gotten out early. Have you thought about what you're going to do? It's not a matter of me being right or wrong. It's a matter of me knowing that it's wrong, that it's done, right? So more restaurants, more gyms, more retail. What you won't see is them come back. You won't. You're not going to see them come back in 2021.
Bezos, how are you?
What's up, Jeff? So what's the next one? Did we miss one?
Answer to COVID.
The answer to COVID. Guys, listen, in 7 months, 2 primary vaccines in the United States of America are being administered. What takes 7 to 10 years, generally speaking, to implement, okay? Now, we are not the only producers or the major producers of the vaccine, globally speaking. The country that starts with a C is.
And ends with an A.
Is that China?
I think so.
Where did COVID-19 come from?
Well, Wuhan.
Okay. Where is the primary vaccinator of the world coming from?
I would say that same area of the world.
China?
Yeah. Interesting.
Who has a monstrous
investment
in
the vaccines?
Let alone interest
in the vaccines?
In the United States economy?
Oh, China. Oh my God. They're so mad at us over the last couple hundred years.
But think Republican, Democrat. But think black, white. Media, pump.
Oh, yeah.
Black, white, Republican,
Separate.
Democrat. Boom. No. It's power and money. And this is on display right now. It's power and money. Countries like China rose from dog shit to the most powerful country in 30 years. I know people who've lived in Hong Kong 40 years ago, and it was fucking farm fields. It is now one of the most metropolitan areas on the face of the earth in 30 years. It is not black, white. It is not Democrat, Republican. It is power and money. Okay, so hold on. So we said I lost track. Answer to COVID. No, you're not going to see the answer to COVID. You're going to see vaccinations, and this is my projection. What took 7 months to produce, at least in America or around the world, these vaccinations, what usually takes 7 to 10 years, it's a 50-50, okay? If you get the vaccination, who knows what's going to happen in 15 years with the vaccination? You don't know. And with COVID, what kind of long-term effects are we going to see from COVID? You don't know. So it's a crapshoot either way. Will you see the answer to COVID in 2021? You will not. Bailouts of Americans losing their homes, you will not see. We discussed this last 2 shows ago, episode 82, I believe, on investments. 9.9 million Americans as of the end of November in 2020 are in default on their mortgages. Mm-hmm. They're going to lose their homes and they're going to go bankrupt, and there's not going to be a bailout. There won't because the banks will seize the assets
and take the property.
And the banks are going to liquidate the property to huge investment firms like Amazon. There's not going to be a bailout because the banks are going to get their money. Single family homes are not built for middle Americans. Mm-hmm. Single family homes are built for banks. Backs.
Boom.
Okay, it's going to get rough in 2021, guys. You thought 2020 was bad. 2021 will be equally as rough, just a year later, marinated from what happened in March of 2020. Okay. Whew. What you will not see.
No, you got one more.
Oh,
mandatory gun buybacks.
Well, I thought we did that in our projections.
Oh.
Yeah, let's talk about that in the projections.
Okay.
All right, what you will see in 2020. Let's recap what you won't see. Let me see this. What you won't see is a civil war. You won't see the ability to not use your masks. The suppression of the economy is not going to let up. There won't be travel bans. Retail is still going to be dog shit. The answer to COVID will not happen. The bailouts for Americans losing their homes will not be there because Jeff Bezos wants to get richer. And now we're going to talk about what you will see. And I have respect for Bezos.
Yeah.
People don't like him or whatever. I think he's an extraordinary human, and I would love to be able to be in his presence. I'm just talking about that he's doing many things that greats that have lived before have done just in a current time. So do know that. What you will see, and these are not my projections, but this is what you will see. You're going to see more censorship in 2021 now that it's coming to the attention of Americans that it's not the government censoring you. It's not the government violating your rights. It's not the government violating your rights. It's large Silicon Valley-based companies like Facebook and Apple and Instagram and Google censoring you. And is YouTube censoring?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, YouTube censoring.
YouTube censors the hell out of people.
So what you're going to see is you're going to see more censorship. I mean, let's just talk about this for a second. The fucking president of the United States got censored.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not the government doing censorships. It's private. Well, they're not private. They're public companies.
Yeah.
But it's private companies they're public companies, but companies that are not government-based censoring Americans. And what now that people are starting to comprehend that it's not the government that's actually censoring Americans, it's the fucking Facebooks and it's the fucking Instagram and it's the fucking Googles and the YouTubes. You're going to see people leaving Facebook. Mm-hmm. You're going to see people leaving Instagram. And what they're going to, in my opinion, and Gary Vee should be producing content on this if he already isn't, but I believe, and he actually has said this in 2020. He said, move over to TikTok and LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. So far, censorship on LinkedIn and TikTok isn't nationally known, as far as I know.
Right.
So more people are going to use new platforms and existing platforms that aren't censoring, like LinkedIn and TikTok. There are going to be other companies that do come, new platforms that do come, that will give Americans minimal censorship, if not no censorship. And Mike, you wanted to talk about these.
Yeah, there's two that I could recommend people. BitChute and Library, LBRY, are two platforms like that. They're basically YouTubes, but they preach that they don't give any of your information to, anybody, and they hate actually all those Silicon Valley companies. They are the opposite side. Yeah. So if you're trying to get some, information or uncensored news and stuff like that, these would be probably better avenues for you if you don't know, because Chris was earlier stating like social media sucks right now and fucking, your main screen television sucks. So these are places you could go to kind of get some truth.
Yeah, and I've talked about this topic quite often, and it's about auditing your circle and auditing the information you put into your mind, and that's the lens of focus that we have here. So as of 2021, I have deleted Facebook and Instagram off my phone. All right. Will I still use Facebook and Instagram? I will from my computer. All right. It's not because I'm worried about tracking. It's not because of any of that. I just don't want to put that fucking bullshit into my mind. And I don't want to scroll and see it. Guys, like, you have to understand that I'm talking to you that post stuff on Instagram and post stuff on Facebook and reposters of things. You have no fucking clue what you're talking about. You look ignorant. All right. I'm not saying all of you. I'm just saying people. And on a macro scale, when you're reposting things that you don't actually know, but just looks good and you agree with, doesn't mean it's factual. And that's where it falls into that 70% of what's reposted is untrue.
Right.
All right. And when you go on Facebook bitching and ranting about fucking terrorists in the Capitol and fucking this and fucking that and fucking this and fucking that, you have to expand your mind. And how to do that is to stop watching the news and find sources of what's actually happening. And like, like back when George Floyd happened, I shot a show on George Floyd, and a lot of my friends of color like basically shut the door on me because, I stated it factually for what happened, because, the news wants you to think black, white, police, black men, black, white, black, white, black, white. But in all reality, if you do your own research, and I put all of my research notes in that show,
like the links and stuff.
Yeah, the links of like the untouched building camera views, the building, like the surrounding building camera views, not like just him dying on the street. You know what I mean? Like the news was like, look, black man dies, like 4 white cops. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying George Floyd should have been killed, because no one should be killed. Right. However, the point is, when you gather your facts, okay, you can formulate an educated opinion.
Right.
And Facebook and Instagram are manipulating what you see. Therefore, what you repost and what you post is manipulated.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying, that people will be leaving Facebook and Instagram like me. I won't. I just won't. I won't be on them. And Mike, I don't think you'll be either. I'll post.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, downtime, and we have to, but yeah, you won't be seeing. We're actually going to remove ourselves completely from Facebook.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Just because it's just like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk off air about other stuff. But yeah, no, I'm definitely off that. It's and like you said, dude, do you watch the Social Dilemma? You see that they basically create you in from the data they collect from you, and then pump what they know you're gonna want to see, what you're gonna feed into, what you're gonna click, all that stuff. And then the scariest part is they're censoring stuff. They're not letting things get access to you, which Joe Rogan has even said this. When you do something like that where do you stop? And then like if you don't, the truth will always rise to the top. It always does. If you don't censor people will get the truth. And if you don't give them the ability to, how can they form an educated opinion?
Yeah, and you have to form an educated opinion, guys. You have to do your own research. What you see on memes on Instagram and your friend from high school on fucking Facebook that
still lives in that time mentally.
Guys, like, understand where you're getting your facts from.
Yeah.
And I say this because I want to help you expand your mind or learn more. I don't say this to like sound belittling. Just understand where your information is coming from. And if you're getting it from Facebook, Instagram, and the mainstream media, your information is like as close to incorrect as it comes, because it's manipulated, censored, and false.
Right.
Okay? You watch Fox, great, you're wrong. You watch CNN, great, you're wrong.
CNBC, same shit.
You watch BBC America, great, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Go do your own research.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many hours of research I put in before to shoot this show? At least 3 hours, just on these topics.
Wow.
And we're not even going in depth on it.
Yeah.
It's just broad.
Yeah.
To shoot this show.
Yeah.
I think that we beat it with a dead horse. What you will see, thank you, Mike, is online businesses doing excellent. Customer buying patterns are online. It's just what you will see.
Yeah.
You know, in what you will see is online businesses prevailing, just like retail businesses won't.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much a dead horse at this point, and we're not going to beat it any further. What you will see is, did we put that in my projections?
This?
Yeah.
Do you want me to put that one in the projections?
You know what? We'll just lead into it with that.
Okay.
So let's recap. Let's recap what you will see. You'll see people leaving Facebook and Instagram, moving towards LinkedIn, TikTok, and BitChute and Library. Guys, don't forget Google and Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Google and Apple, okay? Facebook, Instagram, Google, Apple.
They all sleep in the same bed.
Yeah, okay. You will see online businesses doing well. And here are my projections, and we're going to close the show out with my projections of what you're going to see specifically in the first 6 months of 2021 and most likely 2021 in a whole. Okay, this is what we're going to start with. Your lockdowns, okay? Your restaurants only being able to bring in 50%, 30% of people. Your ski mountains half-assly operating.
Yeah.
Your fucking everything.
Everything's trash.
Everything that's been trashed is not going anywhere. All right, your lockdowns are still going to be here. Will you see a second wave of mandatory lockdowns in 2021? God, I hope not.
I know.
God, I hope not. And if it needs to happen because of COVID, then so be it. But what you are experiencing as a human, not being able to go to the bar, restaurants being at capacity, and so on and so forth, is not going anywhere. And that's what I mean by lockdowns. All right? Because 70% of the population needs to get vaccinated for herd immunity for COVID. Once COVID is quote unquote under control, which I don't see happening in 2021, maybe 2022, things will get lifted. Yes, because there will be herd immunity. All right. Predictions. I think you'll see a little bit of let up in the summer. I think you'll see a little bit because of the vaccinations that have been happening. I will. I think that you'll see people partying in national parks. I think you'll see beaches. I think you'll see outdoor activities being the social points. I think you'll continue to see the price of oil drastically low and major manufacturers will start collapsing. Economic recession. And my last there's the guns too. Let's do the guns.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're going to see mandatory gun buybacks. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be implemented by federal or it's going to be federally incentivized, meaning state, come up with your own plan. We will fund you X amount of dollars per gun that you buy back from your citizens. What you have, okay, you have a socialistic style government.
Literally.
Okay. You have Obama did a great job at laying the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Clinton before him, I didn't really, I might have been too young to comprehend, but I mean, I remember the guy being on trial for getting his dick sucked.
Yeah.
He's fuck president.
Yeah.
Every president is probably getting their dick sucked because they're males. However, he was married and it was his assistant. And
it was under the fucking Oval Office.
It was in the Oval Office. Anyways, he didn't forefront. Tony, do you remember that?
Clinton?
Have you heard about this?
I was very young, but yes.
Yeah, you've heard about this, right? Yeah. I saw your face and I was like, wait a second.
I was just giving faces.
Renee, did you know about that? Yeah. Okay.
I know they're young, but hopefully they read the history books.
I remember watching it in school. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
Anyways, I don't think Clinton really laid the foundation for a socialistic style economy or country, to say the least. Obama definitely did. Bush, correct me if I'm wrong, both Bushes were Republican.
Yeah, but still, like, I feel like his tenure helped make it an easy road for Obama to lay down that framework, as you would say.
Bush, too, definitely was ridiculed pretty heavily.
Yeah, I'm talking two.
Almost as much as Trump.
Yeah.
Almost as much as Trump.
Do you remember how much people hated him?
I served for him.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
We loved him.
Yeah?
You know, he'd come to the bases.
Oh, it's that big.
We'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's like a rich oil dude.
Yeah. From Texas and
got
shit.
C's at Yale. You know what I mean?
Great.
Did you know that Bill and Hillary met in New Haven?
For real?
At Yale.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
That's crazy.
Yeah, anyways. Probably
New Haven's legendary. And for their pizza.
Probably at bar.
Yeah.
And fucking. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that Bush, too, had a socialistic outlook. I think it was very capitalistic, and I think it was very par Q democracy. I saw President Obama laying the foundation of shifting a lot of the socialistic aspects to the country. And now you have a very, very, very charged cabinet coming in. First things first, guys, on January 20th, you will have seen Biden take office publicly. On January 6th is when it technically happened, when Pence stepped up to the plate and did what he needed to do to count the Electoral College votes, regardless of what you think happened in the election. On the 6th of January, it was sealed. President Trump will not be the president on January 20th, just so everybody knows. And if you disagree with me, you can disagree with me. However, by the time this show comes out, your president will be Joey. Okay, so Joey and his cabinet and his thought process is extraordinarily socialistic, and what you're going to see is him undo Trump's tax cuts, okay, in a very layman's terms, and to continue so tax everybody heavier, but also continue the healthcare push, outlawing privatized healthcare, so where it's only government-based healthcare, which is very similar to our neighbors to the north. Heavy taxes, heavy government involvement in everything. And that is Canada. And that's the way that Canada has been and always probably will be. But what you will see, and what I'm getting at is, and what I'm projecting is, you're going to see privatized healthcare outlawed. The soon-to-be vice president already has a bill in Senate. I took notes on this.
It's crazy.
Let's see. I took a note on this. Yes. Outlawing of private healthcare. Bill already in Senate, sponsored by Vice President-elect Harris. Okay. So let's recap. Guns are going to be taken away. Privatized healthcare is going to be outlawed. Another 6 months of lockdowns. 2021, you'll likely see a little bit of let up in people partying outside. Price of oil will stay low. The economy will stay suppressed. And that's my projections for the next 6 months. Mike, what do you think?
I mean, some of it I don't like. Obviously, a lot of it actually. But, I mean, it seems like it's going to happen like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I just hope that, you know, by summer we can live a little bit more of a normal life.
Yeah.
You know, so when you said that, that's like my only thing I could take away from this. The sunshine is by summer 2021, hopefully there will be some let-ups.
Hopefully. That's 6 months from now.
Yeah.
So let's hope the second half of 2021 rolls into a good 2022.
Yes.
All right. And you got to remember that 2021 through 2025 will be under
Joseph
Biden-Harris.
Yeah, we'll see if Biden makes it.
I don't wish.
I don't wish that either.
Anyone.
I'm not. Yeah, no, me either. Hey,
I
everybody
shouldn't laugh.
No, I'm dead serious. He's old. Isn't he the oldest president we're ever gonna have? It's up. I mean, it's just I don't know. But whatever.
I hope
America.
I hope he stays in good health.
Yes.
I don't wish death on anyone, including the new president to come. But you will see his you will see his I don't want to call it regime.
His reign.
You will see his reign into socialism.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. And that's what. Okay, I'm 35 years old. I remember Bush 1, Republican. I remember Bill Clinton, left, Democrat. I remember Bush 2, Republican. I remember Obama, left, Democrat. I remember Trump, right. Now you have Joey, left. What ground have we actually taken in the past 30 years when it comes to anything? Really, it's just back and forth. And ultimately, that's democracy. And ultimately, maybe that's why the left has tried to bridge into socialism, because they see democracy failing. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. However, that's what I see. I hope I'm wrong about everything.
Yes.
I really do. I hope I'm fucking wrong about everything. And if I am wrong about everything, please feel free to point it out to me. I will take it like a fucking man.
Yes.
And on these situations especially, I will be happy that I'm wrong.
Yes.
On that note, hey, we've gotten like 4 new reviews. Thank you, guys.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. The selectmen of Guilford and Brantford, Sean Scanlon, wrote a very nice review. I think a couple other people wrote reviews. It takes like a week for iTunes to publish, but I see that we have more reviews.
That's awesome.
So thank you, guys. Thank you. Mike, thank you. DowntimeTV, thank you.
Love
and
you guys.
I hope everyone is staying positive. Cancel your fucking cable.
Peace.